So I think he was charged with corrupting the youth, and that's because his boy lover was Alcibiades, but who was exceedingly beautiful as a man.
Oh my God, you got into it.
Yeah, sure. Really? I mean, I was taught it. I mean, it was a religion department at Hunter College. But that's okay. This is so interesting. So he saves Alcibiades during a war with the Spartans, right? With the Persians. Yes, it was he fought at something. He was fought at something. And he was a hero. Like, the thing is, though, he went barefoot in the snow. He was so deprived and beyond the senses. This man was a true mystic, a Gnostic of the greatest order. He was a prophet, peace be upon him. I always say Socrates, peace be upon him. He's my favorite prophet.
But he took the wrong way out.
Oh, please. He took the most in line way out. But okay, about his trial, we were talking about his trial, and this is what I wanted to record, was that his trial, he was asked at his trial whether he was guilty or not of corrupting the youth, which Alcibiades later joined the Persians or the Spartans or something.
Spartans. He ran to the Spartans, and then he came back and put democracy back, supposedly. After the Athenians were losing, he somehow changed camps. And when he did that, Athens was returned to democracy, because it had a couple of tyrants. They really weren't tyrants.
Yes. They were sponsored by the Spartan government.
Yeah.
And they were persecuting people. So Socrates was ordered, peace be upon him. He was ordered to arrest a man in the rule of the 30 tyrants, and he refused. And for that, he would be punished with death. Well, the reason Socrates agreed to die, he says in his. This is the most hilarious part of his trial. So he's accused of corrupting the youth. And Alcibiades, he saves his life, but he later joins the Spartans. So he says, like, you're responsible for this treasonous thing, even though, like I said, Socrates refused to carry out the orders of the 30 tyrants, and he was a hero for that. But they put that on him, but he was also accused of teaching impiety to the gods. However, he says, I worship them all, so you can't say I'm impious. So only a thin majority of the Greek assembly finds him guilty of these crimes of corrupting the youth and impiety against the gods. But he was still found guilty. But then the Greeks had a separate system where the jury would decide what is the punishment now of the criminal,
Well, we do that too.
Socrates then has to give an apology or something like that. And in that, what's so amazing is he says, my punishment for this should be you should all put me in the Hall of Legends and give me 3 meals a day that Greek heroes receive for some kind of Medal of Honor kind of thing. And so he says the government should pay for my food and service. The public should pay for my food and existence. You should thank me. And for that reason, he was found even more guilty and sentenced to death. Like, more people found him guilty, a larger majority. And he drank the hemlock. And he says that he was offered exile. And he was offered, and he says, I can't leave my town. I have no desire to live somewhere. His friends were going to escape him out. Yeah. And, his wife comes in screaming, like, oh my God, you're going to die. And he says, please get her out of here. Then his pupils start, crying and wailing. He says, is this why we got rid of the women? Why are you guys crying? But the oracle of Delphi had left Athens at the time, and it was going to actually the Eleusinian Islands, where the Eleusinian mysteries were happening. So the death penalty was put on hold as long as the oracle was not in Athens.
The ship didn't reach.
As long as the ship didn't.
And then it did, and he had to do it.
Right, and then so he drank the hemlock because there was no other way for him to go. But that man's just a hero.